Bonjour et bienvenue à ma chaîne YouTube. In today's video, we are going to learn the basics of the compound past tense in French, also known as le passé composé. Le passé composé is a compound past tense because it requires an auxiliary verb and the past participle of any given verb. When it comes to forming the passé composé, we have the two helping verbs. These verbs are être and avoir. So either one of them we use to conjugate with respect to the subject or the subject pronoun depending on the sentence, and it is followed by the past participle of any given verb. The passé composé not only serves as the simple past tense in French, but also as the present perfect tense. Also, we use the passé composé for several purposes. For example, to talk about something that happened at a particular time in the past, or to talk about an action that started and finished in the past, or to simply narrate a sequence of events. For example, she arrived, she saw, and she left. To understand this even better, let's have a look at some examples. We have the subject pronoun je, and we will be conjugating the verb avoir, one of the two helping verbs, with respect to the subject pronoun. So we get j'ai, and it is followed by the past participle of any given verb. Let's say manger. So the sentence means I ate or I have eaten. Another example, elle a regardé, elle a watched, or elle has watched. More examples, je suis arrivé. Over here, we use the verb être as the helping verb, and we have the past participle of the verb arriver. Of course, it is important to note that in French, most of the verbs take avoir as the helping verb. On the other hand, there are some verbs, a specific list of verbs that use the verb être as the helping verb. Moving on to the next example, elle est partie. Over here, we see that the past participle parti has an extra e. This is because when we use être as the helping verb, the past participle agrees with the subject or the subject pronoun. Seeing that elle, the subject, is feminine, therefore we add an extra e to the past participle. Moving on to some more examples. Nous sommes réveillés. Over here, we have the presence of the pronominal verb se réveiller, which means to wake up oneself. Nous sommes réveillés. Again, over here, we see that there is an extra s added to the past participle réveiller, since we are using the helping verb être. So the subject pronoun being plural, therefore the past participle agrees with the subject pronoun. Another example, elles se sont levées. Over here as well, because the subject is feminine plural, therefore we put an extra e and s to the past participle. Elles se sont levées means they got up. In addition to that, we can also have a look at how to form the past participle of some verbs. Let's begin with the formation of the past participle for the regular verbs. For example, the regular er verbs. Verbs that are ending with er. Arriver, to arrive. Tomber, to fall. Donner, to give. Montrer, to show. In all these verbs, we see that to form the past participle, we dropped the er and we simply added e accent aigu. These are regular er verbs. Moving on to the next one, the regular ir verbs. Choisir, to choose. Finir, to finish. Remplir, to fill. And réfléchir, to think. Again, we see that to form the past participle, we drop the ir and add simply I to form the past participle for regular ir verbs. And for the regular re verbs like descendre, rendre, entendre and détendre. Descendre, to climb down. Rendre, to give back or to make. Entendre, to hear. And détendre, to relax. So we see that we drop the re and simply add u to form the past participle. On the other hand, we must also learn how to form the past participle for the irregular verbs. For irregular er verbs like essayer, balayer, payer and envoyer. These are irregular er verbs, but we form the past participle by simply dropping the er and adding again e accent aigu. However, this is not the case for the irregular ir and re verbs. For example, ouvrir, to open, becomes ouvert. Pleuvoir, to rain, becomes plu. Vouloir, to want, becomes voulu. Pouvoir, to be able to or can, becomes pu. Or in the case of irregular re verbs, dire, to say, becomes dit. Lire, to read, becomes lu. Prendre, to take, becomes pris. And rire, which means to laugh, becomes ri. Therefore, in order to form the past participle for the irregular verbs, one must memorize the past participle. Thank you for watching. A bientôt.